Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. I don't know if anyone's gonna be on because we literally it's been a pretty long day. So let me go over here. I'm gonna try to literally 5 seconds ago, Brent. Be quiet. We were a it's been a long day. So I'm not in Florida right now. We are currently in Wisconsin. Um, and so we're going to be doing an Ask the Expert segment question segment here tonight. Let's do a quick little preview. Hey guys, we are talking all about Disney right now here in my childhood bedroom. If you guys want to join us, click the link right down here. We're going to be live for about half an hour. Oh yeah. Okay. So we are coming to you guys live from my childhood bedroom. This is actually where the Wednesday show began all those years ago, 15 years ago, almost 15 years. It's 14 and a half, not even 14 and 2/3. Join us here. But yeah, we are, so we're coming to you live from here. I am in Wisconsin for a wedding this week. Someone who I've known their entire life is getting married on Saturday. So I came up here for the wedding, and yeah, because of that, we are going to be doing a shorter show than we usually do, but we are going to be going through and answering your Disney questions for the next half hour. So if you guys have any questions out there, start throwing them into the comments below, and we will get through them as soon as we get through our intro here in just a few minutes. But hopefully, is the chat room working? It shows that we have people on, but no one's talking in the chat. Oh, there we go. Hey, Shelly, how you doing? It's a shorter show if you guys are not asking questions. Okay, so let's get this party started. We're going to start the 763rd episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Hello, Frank fam. Welcome to the 763rd episode of the Wednesday show. Today is April 3rd, 2024. I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today we're coming to you from the place where the Wednesday show began. And every time that we are here in this location, we always do an Ask the Expert segment. So start throwing your questions out there about anything and everything Disney. And over the next about half an hour, we're going to be going through and answering any and all questions that you guys have about Disney. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone who's been joining us for our Saturday in the park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday, with the exception of this coming up Saturday, we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be, but I promise you, we are coming to you always from Disney. We're just not coming to you from Disney this week because, like I said, I have a wedding, which is why we are in this place right now. And also, thank you everyone who has been subscribing as well, because right now we are up to a grand total of 4,159 subscribers here on my YouTube channel. As always, like I said, we are going to be doing a half an hour episode tonight, but if you get more subscribers, we will go into extra innings as the night goes on. So if we get this up to 4,160, we will go through and answer more of your questions than what we were starting with. So keep on sending people over, and we will go into a few extra innings here as well. And also, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon. Wait, what? This is weird. Oh, it's mirrored now. Oh, that's weird. Because usually I have to mimic on the other side. Oh, this is weird. Okay. Usually on my screen, it doesn't show the actual correct thing. Usually it shows the opposite, but now it's actually, okay, Patreon pals. Tonight's episode is for our Patreon pals. Thank you to our Patreon pals for being there for me through thick and thin and slick and, I don't know. I don't have a good rhyme. I'm tired. It's been a long day. So today we are going to be going through and answering your questions. Let's go to your questions now in the chat room. I see we have one question so far. So keep on throwing your questions in the chat room. We're going to go into more questions as we go through here, but we'll start with this one. Doing well, just got home from work. Did you have a good flight? I did, kind of. So we'll talk about this while other questions are coming through here. Also, we have a lot of people who just came on. Tonight, we are coming to you from my childhood bedroom, aka the location of where the very first episode of the Wednesday show was broadcast from back in 2009. And so we're going to be going through and doing your and Ask the Expert segment where you guys throw your questions about anything and everything Disney, and we will go through and answer them. But yeah, my flight was supposed to leave at like 1:25 today, and then it ended up not leaving until about 3. Well, the previous plane got there at like 3:05, and we didn't leave until about 3, almost, it was like 3:55, maybe 4, that we got on the plane. And then there was lightning in the area, so then we had to sit there for another like 10-15 minutes, which could have been worse. But so we got back, and then I flew from there. The lady next to me spilled soda on my shoe. So it's been a long day. And then I met up with my brother, sister-in-law, and my littler nieces, the 3 youngest ones. So I had a very exciting day. It's been a very long day. It's been a very good day though. So yeah, thank you. Okay, let's go through. We're going to start answering your questions. Like I said, we're going to be doing about a half-hour show, so throw as many questions out there as possible because I want to get through them all. Let's do this thing. Have you ever seen the walls down around the new Unicore building? Are they down? Because they were not down yesterday. Did they go down today and I just missed it? Yesterday they were not down. Yesterday there were still walls up. I think I actually may have taken. I don't think I took a picture. I know I was looking at them. I remember visually thinking about them, but yeah, I'm unless they went down today, I did not see them. They were not down yesterday, so I have not seen them down yet. We have a follow-up question for this, which is, what is supposed to be in the new community building? So it's going to be a multi-purpose building. There's a few different things for it. So actually, let's go to previous Brent, and Brent in the past, that is, because I did a short video not that long ago about this. If you go over to my YouTube channel, they just put the sign up last week. There you go.
Here at Epcot is almost complete. We also have some new signage out now for Mickey and Friends. It's going to be the meet and greet area for them. You can also find like Minnie's Go over here, Mickey's here, and a few of the other characters kind of hidden around on that mural out front. The new building over here at Epcot.
So mainly it's going to be a meet and greet area for Mickey and Friends. Mickey and Friends will be Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and Goofy. It sounds like we might have Daisy there, but Donald's still going to be hanging out over by Mexico. In addition to that, there's going to be like a little theater area. They're going to have a new Encanto show, which will debut this summer, and that will go for a limited time. It's only going to be for a few months. And then it sounds like they're going to have different things there. It kind of sounds like how the Fantasyland Theater is over in Disneyland, where when you go there, you might be seeing a completely different show than the time that you went the time before. So I think it should be good, but I'm not really sure exactly what we're going to be seeing until we actually see it. You heard partial walls are down, or you read that partial the walls were down. Yes, yesterday at least there was no walls down. They've been slowly closing in the construction walls over the last 2 weeks now, but nothing is actually open, or at least maybe today, like I said. But over the last few weeks, the walls have been slowly shrinking down, so you can have more walkway that's been open. But overall, nothing that I've actually seen. Okay, let's go to our next question here. Keep on throwing your questions in there. The more questions you have, the longer the show will be. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very short episode. So keep on throwing your Disney questions in there. What do you think of the new characters of Tiana's Bayou? Overall, it sounds like they're going to be pretty good characters. Actually, I got my Tiana shirt on right now. I'm excited to see what they have in store. I know one person who's working on the attraction, and they have told me that they think that I'm going to like it a lot. So I hope that I do like it a lot. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to see or experience in this new thing, but overall, I am excited, and I have not made a final decision on the characters until I actually get to see the characters, because I'm just one of those people. It's like, do you remember when Frozen came out back in 2013? I remember we went to the theater, opening show, like literally opening show. It was midnight of the day that it came out. And there was like half the people were dressed as characters from the movie. I was like, you don't even know these characters yet. No one's seen this movie yet. we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm surprised Naveen isn't on the attraction poster. That's a good point. I never even thought about that. Wait a minute. That's crazy. Zoe, how are you doing? Oh my gosh. Zoe. I've got a funny story for you, but it's not gonna be funny for anyone else. It doesn't deal with Oklahoma either. I'll try to send you a message because I was thinking about you like 2 days ago. So I hope everything's doing well. Okay, let's keep on going to your questions here. You should add No Way Jose to your attraction account so you know how many you enjoyed throughout the year. Honestly, I've had a few people who've suggested things like that to my attraction account throughout the year, but I have not actually added it yet. But I could probably figure out the No Way Jose account. Actually, I don't think I could. I'm at probably like 6 or 7 No Way Jose's for the year, which is kind of shocking because it's April. But I really have no idea how many No Way Jose's I've hit yet, but I'm guessing it's probably about that. I know I'll have another one in 2 weeks because in 2 weeks is going to be the Springtime Surprise Challenge, which is a Run Disney race. We always do a No Way Jose the night before the very first race. So in 15 days, I'll be having a No Way Jose. I know that for a fact. There's not much I know in my life, but I do know I'll be having a No Way Jose in 15 days. And that's better than anything else you could ask for in life. All right, we are doing an Ask the Expert segment, so keep on throwing those questions into the comments. Anyone who has a question out there about anything or everything Disney, throw it in, and we will go through and answer all of your questions. Okay, I'm surprised Naveen isn't on the attraction poster. Let's pull this up because they actually just released this attraction poster. Was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago? It may have been 2 days ago now. Let's go to Disney Parks Instagram. That's probably going to be the best place to find it. Okay, so this is the poster that Eric is talking about. We got Mama Odie there. But yeah, we don't have Naveen. That is very surprising. I am shocked that we do not have Naveen there. We got all the new characters. We got Mama Odie. We got Louis the Alligator. Obviously, Tiana's front and center there. And then all the new critters. And then 2 ladybug, or not ladybugs, fireflies as well. But yeah, no Naveen. That's surprising. And is it just me? But here, let me try to zoom in on this without losing it. Doesn't that blue thing above her head, now that it's zoomed in, not so much, but further away, it kind of looks like Goofy or Roger Rabbit. But that's all I have to say. Okay, let's keep on going through here and answering any and all questions that you guys have up there. Let's answer this question because this is actually just really funny because I was like, I have to look back at this. Are you excited about the new Imagineering series on YouTube? I had no idea about this until I literally just went to go pull up that poster. It says it was announced 3 hours ago. I was on a plane 3 hours ago. So I literally did not know about this until this very second. What is it? Say the date. Walt Disney Imagineering is launching an all-new YouTube series called We Call It Imagineering on April 4th. Stay tuned for more. Oh, that's tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm excited. That's extremely exciting. How much? Okay, wait a minute. Now we're going to have to go through here. Link in bio. Yes, we want to go to the bayou. Not the bayou. The going down the bayou. How many episodes is it going to be? Because like literally, I had no idea about this until this very second. If it's like a 10 episode series or a 50 episodes or a lifetime series would be the best. But I'm extremely excited. Yeah, this was literally just announced when I was probably getting off the plane when that was announced. So I had no idea about this. But now I'm extremely excited. But I wonder how long are the episodes going to be? Or let's go to Walt Disney Imagineering on YouTube. Walt Disney Imagineering. Okay. I wonder if there's a way here. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Let's go to, no, not that. Walt Disney Imagineering. And then get rid of that. Yeah. Come on, people. Okay, let's watch this together. Let's go through. We're going to share this page. If we can share this page. Please let me share the page. Okay, share screen. Okay, here we can all watch it together now.
Today I'm walking the halls of Walt Disney Imagineering to show you things that no one else has gotten to see. How did the two of you work together to make this masterpiece?
Well, we battled.
Walt Disney Imagineering first started designing, planning, and building Disneyland.
Let me show you a little bit. It's not completed yet, but
this inspired all the great audio animatronic attractions around the world.
We start at the story. Story is key. Walt Disney still inspires us to this day.
We're using new technology to bring characters to life.
A lot of work beyond just the 3D animation.
We're always looking for that new angle that's going to engage our guests.
And for the first time, we get to debut one of those very important characters. The guests are just going to love it.
That's what makes it all worthwhile.
We end up with a beautiful dance.
Oh, man. That's exciting. Holy cow. Yeah, I had no idea, but that looks really good. So to answer your question, I am extremely excited about this. I had no clue that was happening, but that looks really good. That looks really promising. It was really cool. So if you ever get the chance to do it, I highly recommend doing the Adventures by Disney trip that does Southern California, because one of the stops you go to is actually Walt Disney Imagineering at 1401 Flower Street. And that one room that they show at one point, it's like the coolest room ever. They took us through it, and it's like mind-boggling. And while you're in there, you're like trying to figure out exactly what all this stuff is going to become, but you have no idea because of how separated it is. Over there, we were able to see the very first model, like they were working on the Beauty and the Beast attraction that was eventually going to make its way to Tokyo. And they're like, oh, like this is still like a thing that's like 5 or 6 years in the making. And it was like 5 or 6 years before it actually was like announced and open and everything else like that. So overall, really, really cool experience. I'm extremely excited for this series. I hope that they're long episodes, just because I like still going back. The Imagineering story on Disney Plus is hands down my favorite show that Disney Plus has ever done. Like, there's a lot of amazing things that Disney Plus has done throughout the years, but every time I go back, that is number one thing. Like, I love the Imagineering story. I've watched it at least 6 or 7 times. Because it's just such a good series. And yeah, so to answer your question, I did not know about this. Now I do know about this, and I am insanely excited about this. So thank you for bringing it to my attention, because otherwise I would have missed it tomorrow, and people would be like, yeah, did you hear about that? You know, like, did you watch it? I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, yes, we are going to be talking about it. I am extremely, extremely excited. What is your count for the people over so far this year? Let's take a look. I want to say it's 44, but I could be wrong. It's 43. I am wrong. I've gone on People Mover 43 times this year, which is by far, in a way, the most attractions I've done for this year. Let's try to figure out how many times I've done an attraction multiple times. I've done that one multiple times, or not multiple, over 10. That one, Seas with Nemo and Friends, is at 13. Figment will be at 10 the next time. Let's see here. We've also gone on the Frontierland Shooting Arcade. I've done 13 times as well. It's an easy attraction. I stop and do it every time I'm walking by. Journey of Water, inspired by Moana. I've done 18 times. Another great attraction. And it looks like that might be it. There's might be only 4 right now, which is kind of Walt Disney Presents 5. So we've done 5 of them so far. Or 5 attractions that are in the double digits right now. So not too bad. I mean, it's not bad for April. Last year at this time, I think I was about the same. But last year, then I was like, let's take this whole thing off. March Madness of treats served at Beaches and Cream. The No Way Jose will win every March Madness poll in the history of mankind. Okay, let's keep on going through here and get to your questions. Again, if you're asked, or if you're joining us right now, we are going through and answering your questions. We're going to keep on answering questions for about another 10, maybe 15 minutes. If we do go up in the amount of subscribers as we go through here as well, we will be going into extra innings too. Right now, our total is at Bum, 4,159. So keep on throwing your friends over here. I would love to hit 4,160 before the episode's over tonight. Okay, let's keep on going through here and going through. Eric says, do you think the Skyliner will be expanded? I don't. I would love for it to be expanded. I just don't think it will be anytime in the near future. If they do, I'm just trying to figure out what the most logical place they would go to next would be. It would actually, I think it would be fun to eventually get on the Skyliner and have it so it goes everywhere, to every resort and every park and like Disney Springs. And it would be like going to New York City and knowing the subway system really well if you're a local. And if you're not, you're just lost. I think that'd be really funny. It would be funny for people like me who go all the time. Other people would probably be extremely frustrated by it. But I think it would be really cool if they expanded it sometime in the near future. Does Herbie get mad when you fly out to Wisconsin? No, I always give him a little pat every time I leave him and say, hey, buddy, I love you. I'll see you soon. And this time I just said, I'll see you in 7 days. Or 5 days, 6, I don't know, some on days. Can you give a brief explanation of how Genie Plus works for Disneyland heading for our first ever trip in June? Yes, let's do this. So it's going to work the same way for the most part in Disneyland, but there are a few things that you are going to realize are completely different out there. Number one is you can't make your first Lightning Lane reservation. I was trying to figure out the word for reservation. You can't use your first Lightning Lane reservation until you're actually in the park. So the earlier you go to the park, the earlier you can use the benefits of Lightning Lane and get on more attractions. Now, one day when I was out there in January, it was a busy weekend. I think I got on every single attraction with a Lightning Lane with the exception of 2, I want to say. And both of those 2 were ones that I was like, oh, I don't like. I think one of them was Rise of the Resistance, and one of them was Smuggler's Run. So maybe it was 2 more after those 2. And the main reason I was like, oh, I can do those literally tomorrow when I'm at Hollywood Studios when I fly back home, so I don't have to do them today. But you can hit every attraction easily in Disneyland and California Adventure with the Lightning Lane if you just know how to play with the Lightning Lane the right way. So what I suggest doing is when you're on the Lightning Lane app or when you're on Disney Genie Plus app, when you're going through there, a lot of people have the issue of they think that when they book a Lightning Lane, that's it. You book the Lightning Lane, you can put it to the side, you never have to come back to it. But that's not the case, because if you keep on going through, you can actually like switch up the reservation. And every now and then, if you play with it enough, there's reservations that are earlier that you can book too. So you can go through and have, like, there was times where I never got to that 2-hour gap where it's like, oh, now I can book a new one while I'm waiting for my next one. Every single time I would be like on a ride, or like I'd be using the Lightning Lane for a ride. I'd be waiting to get on the actual attraction, and I'd have already booked the next one. And then I would be going through and trying to like modify the next reservation. And there were several times where I was ready to go on that next attraction, and I wasn't even on the next ride yet, or on my previous ride yet. So if you play with it the right way, it works really well. If you have a park hopper, it works really well because the parks are so close together. And I don't think people who've never been to Disneyland fully understand how close they are together. But to give you an example of how close they are together, think about the walk from Spaceship Earth to World Showcase and how it's not that long of a walk. That is about 2 to 3 times longer of a walk than it is to walk from Disneyland to Disney's California Adventure. The 2 are insanely close together. The 2 are as close as walking from, I want to say even Figment to the Seas with Nemo and Friends might be longer walk than it is going from one park to another park. So when you're there, you can make, like, there was one time I was on Pirates of the Caribbean and I made a reservation for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind that was good in 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, well, I'll finish Pirates and then I'll just walk over there. I'll use that one. And then I was able to get another Lightning reservation or Lightning Lane for like Smugglers or no. The Incredicoaster. Did that, hit a few things at California Adventure, and then I was able to go right back to Disneyland and keep on going through the day. So if you have a park hopper and if you are you just kind of, watching the app and playing around with it, you can really hit every attraction easily at those parks. Really, like easily. Like the nice thing about Disneyland is I say this all the time, and people who have never been to Disneyland, I don't think fully grasp it. But Disneyland is much more of a local park where it's a lot of like locals just go there in the afternoon and they're just kind of relax and chill, and a lot of them aren't that into like they don't feel they have to get Lightning Lane because they're going tomorrow. It's like how I don't usually use Lightning Lane at Disney World because I'm like, well, I'm going to be there tomorrow. People in Disneyland, it's like that, but it's like 50% of the people there are local. So it's even more people who aren't using Lightning Lane. So because of that, you have more opportunities to do everything. That was a really long answer, but thank you. That was a great question. Let's keep on going through here. I'm ashamed to say this. I've never experienced the Hall of Presidents. Can you explain what the show is about? Yes. Oh, I can't believe you've never experienced it. Let's do a quick little brief history of the Hall of Presidents. By the way, this might possibly be the last question, so keep throwing your questions in there, and also try to get a new subscriber, and then we'll go into more innings here. But okay, so it's about a 20-minute show, 22 minutes probably, and it goes through the entire history of presidents. And the nice thing is every time they get a new president, the show changes the narrative a little bit to kind of fit in with the personality of that president, or of just, they want to tell a new story about the history of presidents. But what they'll do is they'll go through and they'll talk about George Washington. They go through the entire history of how the idea of a president was created, how they made George Washington a president, and then George Washington, no, he doesn't talk. And then we keep on going through, and we have it so there's like more narrative going through the entire history until we eventually get to the 16th president, which is Abraham Lincoln. Then the screen opens up and Abraham Lincoln's there. He does the Gettysburg Address. Then the screen goes down. They keep on going through the history of presidents until eventually you get to modern times. And then when that happens, we have the whole stage open up, and then we go through and we meet every single president. Literally, like they introduce every single president from George Washington all the way up to Joe Biden, and they kind of go through in order of when they were president. But I mean, it's not like from this year to this year, we had, Robert McKinley. No, it's like, they'll be like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and they just kind of, or John Adams, Thomas Jefferson. They kind of go through very slowly, or not slowly, but they'll go through just introducing every single president that's on stage. And then what happens is George Washington comes up and he says, every single president from my time until now has repeated the same solemn oath. These simple words have been repeated by every single U.S. president. And then Joe Biden comes up and then he says it. And overall, I think it's a really good show. It's one of those things where I know there's some people who I'm not a political person at all. I hate politics. I usually vote for Mickey Mouse, mainly due to the fact that I want to see an animatronic Mickey Mouse up on that stage. But because if he wins, that's what's going to happen. I've also considered voting for myself because I figured it'd be cool to just have them make an animatronic about me so I can get up on the stage. But I'm not a political person at all, and I feel like there's a lot of people who think it's a political thing when in reality it's just like a history of presidents. It was actually originally created, an idea created by Walt Disney that eventually morphed into the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. No, it morphed into Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln because they didn't have the time and the money to make all the presidents. And then eventually when they opened up Walt Disney World, they created the Hall of Presidents. Overall, amazing show. It's a great show. I truly do love it. With that being said, I have not seen it yet this year because there was one time that I was there and there was a very obnoxious family that was in the waiting area. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can put up this family anymore. And I left and I went on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad instead. I know that because it was like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, but it's a great show. You should definitely check it out at some point. Okay, let's go through. It looks like we don't have any other questions popping up. Or what, like walking across the street from the hotel to the park, no buses. Yeah, there's no buses. There we go. Going back to our Disneyland question. Absolutely no buses needed whatsoever. So I've stayed at now that's a good question in my head. I'm asking myself a question. I've stayed at almost every single hotel that's within a like 2-block radius of Disneyland, I feel like. And there's some great ones, there's some not so great ones. But the nice thing about all of them is that they are so close to the park that it's literally you can walk out. Oh, you're staying at Candy Cane Inn? Eric, are you still watching? Because that's Eric's favorite resort. Candy Cane Inn is a great resort. I've stayed there once. It is a great resort. Like I said, I have stayed at. I feel like every time I go, I do tend to stay at a different resort just to kind of because they're all so close. But Candy Cane Inn is a great one. You are literally on the backside of Radiator Springs from Cars Land, and then it's like maybe a 5, maybe 10-minute walk to the park from there. Probably like 5 minutes. You only have to go through one light, and it's a light to backstage where the people can park at. So it's not like it's like even a long light. It's just love Candy Cane Inn. So if you guys want to know where I'm going to be, we're all going to go to Candy Cane Inn in June. And we're going to stay with the Frank fam. Yay. Oh, wait, any other questions out there at all? Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up tonight's episode right here. Like I said, because I did just fly in today and I want to spend some time with my family, we're going to do a shorter episode tonight. But it looks like that might be all of our questions because we also are still at 41:59. I'm 90% positive we'll hit 4160 by midnight tonight, but maybe not. Who knows? But we're going to be wrapping up right there. So thank you everyone out there for joining us once again this week. I hope you guys enjoyed our very, very short episode of Ask Me a Disney Question, or I can't even think right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And next time, I can't even talk. We're not going to be doing our Saturday in the Park this week, but remember that anything can happen. If you headed next week, we'll be back in not Wisconsin. We're in Wisconsin now. We'll be back in Florida next week. So make sure you join us that. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I just can't stand this kind of pressure.